100 points in a single game. On March 2nd, 1962, Wilt Chamberlain delivered the single most untouchable performance in NBA history, scoring 100 points in a game against the New York Knicks. No television cameras were there to capture it, leaving only radio calls and grainy photos as proof, which only adds to the myth. He dominated from the opening tip, hitting shots inside, mid-range jumpers, and free throws at a pace that made the scoreboard feel broken. By the end of the third quarter, he already had 69 points, and the crowd at Hershey Sports Arena was feeding him the ball on every possession. Defenders double and triple teamed him, but it didn't matter. He was simply too tall, too skilled, and too relentless. Since then, no player has even cracked 82 points in a game, and with today's substitution patterns and defensive schemes, it's nearly impossible. Even the greatest modern scorers like Kobe Bryant and Devin Booker have come up short. This wasn't just a record, it was a statistical Everest, and no one's come close to the summit since. And speaking of untouchable totals, the next mark belongs to a man still adding to his legend. 42,000 plus career points. LeBron James has been rewriting the record book since his rookie season in 2003, but crossing the 42,000 point threshold cemented him as the undisputed scoring king of the NBA. What makes this record outrageous isn't just the total, it's the way he's gotten there. He's never been considered a pure scorer like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, yet his ability to combine elite scoring efficiency with unmatched longevity has kept him piling up points year after year. LeBron's game evolved with time, explosive dunks in his youth, unstoppable drives in his prime, and a deadly post and three-point game in his later years. Even at 40, he's averaging well above what most veterans can produce. The fact that he's still active means this record will only grow, and future generations will be staring at a mountain so high it might never be scaled again. And while career totals show consistency, the next record is about perfection across one single season. 73-9 regular season record. The 2015 to 2016 Golden State Warriors didn't just chase history, they made it. Behind Stephen Curry's unanimous MVP season, the Warriors combined jaw-dropping shooting with suffocating defense and a breakneck pace that left the league scrambling. They shattered the previous win record by going 73-9, a number once thought untouchable, all while dazzling fans with impossible comebacks and record-breaking three-pointers. But unlike the 96 Bulls, their story didn't end in confetti. They fell just short in a brutal 7-game finals against LeBron James and the Cavaliers. That heartbreaking ending keeps their season in a strange space. Statistically, the greatest regular season ever, but forever haunted by what could have been. And if perfection on paper isn't enough, maybe the next record can change your mind. 11 championships in 13 seasons. Bill Russell's championship count is so outrageous, it barely feels real. From 1957 to 1969, he collected 11 rings in just 13 seasons with the Boston Celtics. This wasn't in a league with only a handful of teams either. Russell faced elite competition, Hall of Famers, and playoff battles that demanded consistency year after year. His defense, rebounding, and leadership transformed Boston into a dynasty, and his ability to step up in the biggest games made him the ultimate winner. In today's NBA, with free agency, player movement, and more balanced rosters, this level of dominance by one player on a single team is unthinkable. Even the greatest modern dynasties, Jordan's Bulls, Kobe and Shaq's Lakers, the Warriors, fall short. Russell's legacy isn't just about titles, it's about setting a standard for winning that will never be matched. And when it comes to dominance across an entire season, the next team's streak was just as jaw-dropping. 33 game-winning streak. The 1971 to 1972 Los Angeles Lakers strung together 33 consecutive wins, the longest winning streak in NBA history. Coached by Bill Sharman and led by Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, and Gail Goodrich, this team didn't just beat opponents, they dismantled them. They won by double digits night after night, crushed playoff contenders in the regular season, and turned road games into silent arenas by halftime. In today's NBA, even the most stacked super teams struggle to win 15 in a row, making 33 straight a feat of insane consistency. Fatigue, injuries, and the modern grind of travel make this record even harder to imagine falling. Even more impressive, they capped the streak with an NBA championship, proving it wasn't a fluke. And speaking of streaks, the next one belongs to a man who made scoring titles his personal tradition. 7 consecutive scoring titles. Michael Jordan didn't just win scoring titles, he owned them. From 1987 to 1993, he led the league in points per game every single season, averaging over 30 a night while facing some of the best defenders in NBA history. This wasn't just volume scoring either. Jordan combined efficiency with an unstoppable mid-range game, gravity-defying finishes, and the ability to rise in clutch moments. He could give you 50 when his team needed it, or quietly dissect you with 35 and flawless defense. Even elite scorers today struggle to win 2 or 3 straight scoring titles because of load management, team balance, and increased competition. Jordan did it for 7 years without a break, which means this record is basically locked in a vault. And while that's about dominance over years, the next record is about a single season that redefined shooting forever. 402 three-pointers in a single season. In the 2015 to 2016 season, Stephen Curry turned the three-point line into his personal playground, draining 402 threes and shattering his own previous record by more than 100. What makes this record ridiculous is that it happened in an era when defenses already knew stopping Curry from deep was the top priority, yet he still made more threes than entire teams. He pulled up from 30 feet like it was a layup, hit shots off the dribble, and punished any defender who dared to go under a screen. Since then, no player has come within even 33s of that mark, and with the increased focus on guarding the arc, it's unlikely anyone will. This wasn't just shooting, it was a season-long clinic in reimagining basketball spacing. And Curry's dominance from deep didn't end there, as the next record proves. 4,000 plus career three-pointers, Stephen Curry didn't just break the career three-point record, he obliterated it. Passing Ray Allen's previous mark in 2021, he's continued to add to the total every season, making the gap between him and the rest of the league enormous. What's even crazier is that Curry still has years left in his career, meaning he could push the record so high that future generations will treat it like Wilt's 100 points, untouchable. His combination of quick release, unlimited range, and elite conditioning has changed how the game is played, inspiring a new generation of long-range shooters. But even with all his success from deep, there's one scoring mark that makes his numbers look human, and it belongs to a man who redefined dominance in the paint. But first, only cool people are subscribed to this channel, so hit that subscribe button before we go any further. 50.4 points per game in a season. Wilt Chamberlain's 1961 to 1962 season saw him average 50.4 points per game, a number that seems like a typo. He played nearly every minute of every game, scored in every possible way, and faced defenses that threw everything at him without slowing him down. To put it in perspective, no other player has averaged even 40 points per game for a season. In today's game, with pace, rotations, and player rest days, it's mathematically impossible to reach this level over 82 games. Wilt wasn't just bigger than his opponents, he was faster, more skilled, and relentless. He set scoring records on Monday, broke them on Wednesday, and raised them again by Friday. And as wild as that season was, the next record is about sheer rebounding dominance in a single game. 55 rebounds in a single game. On November 24th, 1960, Wilt Chamberlain pulled down 55 rebounds in a single game against Bill Russell's Celtics. This wasn't just size. Wilt combined perfect positioning, explosive leaping, and an unmatched work rate on the glass. In today's NBA, 20 rebounds is considered elite, and even the best rebounders rarely cross 30. For Wilt, 55 came in a game where he also scored 34 points, showing how complete his dominance was. The pace of play in that era meant more shot attempts, but even with that advantage, no one has come close to touching this record in over 6 decades. The rebounding numbers were just part of his overall mastery of the glass, which leads directly into the next milestone. 22.9 career rebounds per game. Over his 14-year career, Wilt Chamberlain averaged an absurd 22.9 rebounds per game, a number so far ahead of modern players that it looks like it came from a different sport. He had seasons where he grabbed over 27 rebounds a night, something that sounds like a misprint. Wilt's combination of size, speed, and tireless energy meant he could dominate the boards against anyone. And in an era with more missed shots, he capitalized on every opportunity. Even the best modern rebounders, like Andre Drummond in his prime, barely averaged half of Wilt's career mark. Rule changes, spacing, and today's emphasis on shooting over size make this kind of dominance impossible now. Every missed shot in Wilt's time felt like his by default, and this consistency over an entire career is why his rebounding average remains untouchable. But if rebounding is about controlling the glass, the next record is about shutting opponents down before they even get a shot off. 5.6 blocks per game in a season. Mark Eaton's 1984 to 1985 campaign set the gold standard for shot blocking, 5.6 per game. That's nearly 6 shots a night erased before they even had a chance. Eaton, standing at 7 feet 4 inches, was more than just a towering presence. He had impeccable timing and the discipline to anchor the Utah Jazz defense without getting into foul trouble. In the modern NBA, even elite rim protectors like Rudy Gobert and Anthony Davis rarely average more than 3 blocks per game. With today's pace and space offenses pulling big men away from the rim and strict defensive rules, Eaton's mark is safe. His record wasn't just about stopping points, it was about controlling the flow of every possession. And when it comes to controlling games through versatility, the next player did it across the entire box score. 11 consecutive triple-doubles in a season. In 2019, Russell Westbrook extended his already ridiculous triple-double legacy by recording 9 in a row. It's hard enough to get one triple-double, as it requires double digits in points, rebounds, and assists. But doing it 9 straight games demands relentless energy and a complete mastery of the game. Westbrook's speed, rebounding instincts as a guard, and willingness to push the pace made him a nightly threat to stuff the stat sheet. Modern defenses can scout and adjust quickly, making long streaks like this harder to pull off. Oscar Robertson might be famous for averaging a triple-double for a season, but Westbrook's run showed that in today's NBA, it's still possible to overwhelm the game in every way, just not for very long. And speaking of overwhelming production, the next record comes from a man who made assists his personal art form. 15,806 career assists. John Stockton's assist total is so far ahead of the next best player that it almost feels fake. Over 19 seasons, Stockton averaged 10.5 assists per game, running the Utah Jazz offense with surgical precision. His pick-and-roll connection with Karl Malone became legendary, and his ability to stay healthy meant he was there every single night to rack up dimes. The second-place spot belongs to Jason Kidd with 12,091 assists, which means Stockton is ahead by over 3,700, a gap that could take another elite passer more than 5 All-Star seasons to close. In the era of frequent load management and shorter careers, no one is catching him. He didn't just rack up stats, he orchestrated games like a conductor, and his vision was unmatched. But passing wasn't the only thing he dominated, as he also locked down the ball on defense in historic fashion. 3,265 career steals. Stockton wasn't just an offensive maestro, he was also a defensive thief. His 3,265 career steals show an uncanny ability to anticipate plays and disrupt passing lanes without taking reckless risks. Averaging over 2 steals per game for nearly 2 decades, Stockton paired quick hands with perfect positioning. Chris Paul, one of the best modern defenders at his position, is still far behind on the career list. The way today's offenses space the floor and protect the ball makes racking up steals at this rate nearly impossible. Stockton's combination of durability, IQ, and defensive tenacity means his place atop the steals list is as secure as his assist crown. And while Stockton achieved his numbers over decades, the next record was set in record time. Fastest to 10,000 career points. Wilt Chamberlain wasted no time in making his scoring dominance known. He reached 10,000 career points in just 236 games, a pace so blistering that even modern scoring machines like Kevin Durant and LeBron James weren't close. Wilt's combination of size, athleticism, and relentless scoring ability allowed him to put up numbers that defied belief. He could drop 60 one night and 50 the next, without fatigue slowing him down. In today's NBA, with player rest, defensive schemes, and fewer minutes played, matching this pace is unrealistic. Wilt's ability to sustain that level of production night after night is why this record will stand untouched. But while Wilt did it with scoring, the next record is all about showing up every single night without fail. 1,192 consecutive games played. A Sea Green's Ironman streak is a testament to durability and discipline. From 1986 to 2001, he played in 1,192 straight games, never missing a contest due to injury, illness, or rest. In today's NBA, where load management is a strategy and minor injuries can lead to multiple games off, this streak feels impossible. Green wasn't just logging minutes, he was contributing, defending, and doing the dirty work that kept him valuable to his team. The mental toughness to push through pain and the physical preparation required to avoid injury for 15 straight seasons is staggering. It's the kind of consistency that makes you a legend among peers. And when it comes to consistency, one player turned double-doubles into an art form. 227 consecutive games with a double-double. From 1964 to 1967, Wilt Chamberlain recorded a double-double, double digits in 2 statistical categories, in 227 straight games. For most players, a double-double is a highlight. For Wilt, it was the bare minimum. He routinely put up 30 points and 20 rebounds, making the streak a product of his nightly dominance. In the modern NBA, with increased focus on minutes management and more balanced scoring, such consistency is unrealistic. Even stars like Nikola Jokic, who can dominate in multiple areas, would struggle to maintain such production every single game for over 2 seasons. Wilt made it look effortless. And while double-doubles show versatility, the next 2 records are about perfection in the craft of shooting. 90.4% career free throw percentage. Steve Nash's free throw shooting was as close to automatic as basketball gets. Across his 18-year career, he knocked down 90.4% of his attempts, rarely missing in clutch moments. Free throw percentage might not seem glamorous, but it can decide playoff series and championships. Nash's silky smooth stroke and meticulous pre-shot routine made every trip to the line feel inevitable. Modern sharpshooters like Stephen Curry have challenged the mark, but sustaining this level over nearly 2 decades is a different challenge entirely. Nash turned the free throw line into his personal comfort zone. And while he was perfect from 15 feet, the next player perfected efficiency from the floor at all ranges. 71.3% career field goal percentage. Artis Gilmore's 71.3% field goal percentage isn't just about dunking or scoring at the rim, it's about shot selection and mastery of his game. At 7 feet 2 inches, Gilmore used his size and skill to score in high percentage situations, rarely forcing bad shots. He played smart, picked his spots, and stayed efficient for 17 seasons across the ABA and NBA. In today's league, big men can post high single season percentages, but sustaining over 70% for an entire career is another story. Gilmore's combination of patience, power, and precision keeps him at the top of this efficiency list decades later. If you like this video, consider watching this next one, which YouTube thinks you are going to really love.